morning, everyone. I'd like to bring this special council meeting to order. And we begin today by acknowledging the traditional territories of Indigenous people and their commitment to the stewardship of the land. We acknowledge the communities in Circle, north, west, south, and eastern directions, and Haudenosaunee, Huron-Wendat, Anishinaabe, Seneca, Chippewas, and the Mississaugas of the Credit Peoples. We share the responsibility with the caretakers of this land to ensure that the dish is never empty and to restore relationships that are based on peace, friendship, and trust. And we here at the City of Markham are committed to reconciliation, partnership, and enhanced understanding. And I want to take an opportunity to welcome everyone to this special council meeting for the tabling of Budget 2026. Certainly welcome all of our community members, our council, staff, and of course, members of the media. And members of council, I am pleased to present Budget 2026, and I call upon City Treasurer Joseph Silva to accept the 2026 budget book for distribution. Thank you very much for all your... Oh, right over here. Can you switch sides? First off, it's important to note for the second year in a row, Markham has garnered the International Hermes Creative Award for the budget book we produced last year. This speaks to the fact that it's not just about the numbers, it's about creativity and ensuring our residents are always kept informed about what's happening in our community. As we must always be, Markham Council is driven by the need to make sure that our city is consistently moving forward. What are the hallmarks of a great city? An ever-evolving quality of life that we as council have an obligation to protect and to improve. And we do so by providing high-quality service to our residents, services they expect and deserve. We as council are entrusted to invest responsibly for the betterment of our city. That entails maintaining a strong stewardship of the city's coffers. To my council colleagues, your guidance and input into the creation of Budget 2026 is valued. And a special thank you to our CAO, Andy Taylor, commissioners, directors, all of their staff for their input and support. On the track, there are twists and turns. When managing a city, there's also challenges. The key is to handle and master them. Economic challenges are a reality. How we address them is what sets us apart. Markham is racing forward with a responsible budget. Markham is racing forward with investment in services. Markham is racing forward with building green and resilient communities. Markham is racing forward with renewed and new infrastructure. Markham is racing forward with Budget 2026. With the tabling of Budget 2026, the race is on. The laps around the track before us will move us forward and take us into the future with boldness and confidence. Getting on track and staying on track is the responsibility we are charged with. It's not enough to simply recognize opportunities. We must address and invest in those opportunities to propel us forward. Since 2022, we have invested $680 million across 1,036 projects, capital projects. Most are significant initiatives ranging from road resurfacing to flood mitigation to new parks and trails. To date, close to 70% of these dollars have been spent, reflecting our team's dedication to staying on track and getting things done. With Budget 2026, Markham will move forward with an investment of $160.4 million dedicated to 233 capital projects. Of this, $89 million is earmarked for repairing and refurbishing existing roads, community centers, libraries, cultural facilities, and community amenities. The remaining $71 million will fund projects to support growth, including roads and new water main construction and the development of community spaces. It's an enduring point of pride that the City of Markham has achieved the lowest average tax rate increase in the GTA for over 20 years. That's an example of Markham's leadership. We remain intensely focused on strong fiscal responsibility, excellent management, and respect for the taxpayers' dollars. The property tax rate increase for 2026 is 3.9%, most of which goes to day-to-day operations of the city and investment infrastructure. For the average price home in Markham, this increase represents an additional $54.99 on the city portion of the tax bill. Our fiscal success stands out among our municipal peers and reflects the strong entrepreneurial spirit that is held up as example. A quick glance at the graph is all the evidence you need to see where we stand compared to other municipalities for over a 20-year period. We're the small bar to the left at 2.21%. The city's 2026 budget is $677.9 million. Now, how does it all break down? $309 million supports our daily operations, serving residents and businesses. Markham's capital budget is $160.4 million. According to our recent corporate asset management plan, and this is impressive, close to 90% of Markham's $17.5 billion in corporate assets are in good condition, reflecting the strength of the city's life cycle reserve and asset management processes. The remainder of the budget, $208.2 million, is not funded from property taxes. Waterworks is funded from the water rate. Building services, planning and urban design, and engineering are funded through development fees and development charges. The city's proposed tax increase represents a combination of strong fiscal responsibility and strategic planning to move Markham forward. Starting with revenue. The 2026 revenue of $301.79 million represents $8.88 million increase over last year. This increase is driven by growth in property tax assessment, an increase in investment income, and service fee updates. It also incorporates adjustments to user fees for recreation and culture programs that we all cherish. Moving on to expenses. Our expenses total $306.80 million, an increase of $13.89 million over the prior year's budget, which includes cost of living increases, collective bargaining settlements, and staffing costs. It also reflects contract increases for winter maintenance and waste collection, and increased operating costs for new roads and parks. Our expenses are substantially offset by our revenue. And when you combine the net operating expenses, the payback to the city's corporate rate stabilization reserve and additional infrastructure investment of $1.74 million, we arrive at a 3.9% property tax increase for 2026. Your total property tax bill is split in three ways: York Region, Board of Education, and the City of Markham, with 52% to York Region, 24% to the Board of Education, and 24% to the City of Markham. Maximum efficiency requires vigilance and adaptability. And just like race car drivers depend on highly qualified team to find an edge, we do the same. And that has translated in eliminating over $37 million of tax burden by reducing expenses and enhancing revenues. Simply put, that translates in avoiding a cumulative tax increase of 29% since 2009. The total tax increase in Markham has remained below the rate of inflation. Since 2019, the overall inflation rate in Canada was running at 22.7%, while Markham's tax rate increase was 19.6%. As mentioned, Budget 2026 invests $160.4 million in 233 capital projects. More than $53 million will be used for road construction, repairs, and traffic improvements. We've dedicated $34.5 for flood control, storm, water management, ponds, and culverts. Water, wastewater system replacement, and upgrades will account for nearly $22 million. $15.8 million will go toward exterior and interior facility improvements. We've earmarked more than $12 million for parks construction and maintenance, with the remainder dedicated to fleet replacement and repairs, along with day-to-day city assets, replacing day-to-day city assets, and the implementation of tech infrastructure. Some of the key capital projects that we're focused on are the Markham Village Flood Control Program, providing critical flood protection, citywide asphalt resurfacing. We're also refurbishing playgrounds to make them fully accessible. A city's future hinges on growth, and growth paves the way forward to the future. Markham will continue to build infrastructure that supports complete, safe, and connected communities. Budget 2026 continues Markham's investment in the Rouge Valley Trail. $12.3 million for a new trail construction that will extend the Rouge Valley Trail south of 14th Avenue in East Markham. We're also investing $8.1 million for the design work of the Highway 404 North Ramp extension at Major Mackenzie, and 4 new collector roads in the Markham Innovation Exchange, the MIX, our emerging innovation district. New parks in our city, such as York Downs Main Park and the Unionville Home Society Parkette, will also be built. We stand on the shoulders of our past to see forward. We wouldn't be where we are today, witnessing the growth of our city, if it weren't for foresight and resilience. Markham recognizes that as we grow, we have an obligation to maintain and improve what we already have. Approximately 56% of the 2026 capital budget is allocated to ensure that existing assets remain in a state of good repair and support our goal of net zero emissions. Some of those projects include $27.4 million in Markham Village for the phase 1 of the flood control program, which is scheduled to be completed in 2027. $21.3 million for asphalt resurfacing, including curbs, sidewalk, and parking lot repairs right across the city of Markham. $12.3 million to replace 4 kilometers of cast iron water main around older areas of the city. Another $9.3 million for repair and refurbishment of existing community centers, libraries, and facilities. As mentioned, the rest will go toward parks maintenance as well as tree planting to increase Markham's tree canopy. Together as a community, we are racing towards the horizon, knowing that we're on the right track to ensuring our city's vibrancy and quality of life for everyone who calls Markham home. That means serving everyone without exception. Our inclusive Markham means every person feels welcome, safe, and shares a sense of having a stake in the future of our community. Budget 2026 continues to make the city more accessible with a $2.5 million investment that advances construction of our active transportation plan. We are making our community more inclusive with a $2.3 million investment to improve accessibility in parks and playground to achieve full compliance with the Accessibility for Ontarians with Disabilities Act, something we should all be proud of as leaders in this space. And any time when people have an opportunity to gather, we benefit by learning from one another. In 2024, Markham hosted the 50th tournament of the Little Native Hockey League, proud winner of the Impact Award from the Festivals and Events Ontario, as well as the Event Legacy of the Year Award from Sport Tourism Canada. In 2025, the City of Markham and Destination Markham continued this legacy by securing a 3-year hosting agreement with the Little NHL from 2025 to 2027. For the past several years, we've highlighted the financial impact of new provincial legislation related to municipal planning and growth. Markham's advocacy was key and led to the successful reversing of some major financial impacts. We appreciate the provincial government's collaboration. However, our work is far from over. We continue to lean on the province to change the park requirements for high-density areas. The current standards are grossly inadequate. By way of example, prior to Bill 23, a condo project housing 2,000 people would require a 2-hectare park. Today, Bill 23 limits that park to the size of a tennis court. That is unsustainable for our growing community. We need changes to provincial legislation in order for us to provide the appropriate amount of parkland for all of our outdoor recreational needs. Without these changes, the potential future financial impact to our property taxpayers would be in the order of $80 million, an equivalent of a 45% tax rate increase. By way of summary, the 2026 Markham tax rate increase is 3.9%. The water rate and wastewater rate fee will increase by 4.98%. Now today marks the start of our race to move forward with the tabling of Budget 2026, further review, and confirmation. The presentation and budget document will be accessible through the Markham website. A public meeting on Budget 2026 is scheduled for October 9th at 7 p.m. in the council chamber, followed by a special council meeting on October 31st at 10 a.m. for the consideration of possible amendments. Budgets, by their very nature, are about numbers, and you've seen a lot today. But we should also take time to switch gears and talk about something we should all be very excited about. By this time next year, we will be reveling in the wake of a highly successful Ontario Honda Dealers Indy at Markham, one of the most prestigious events in the sporting calendar. It's expected to attract 150,000 people and will generate more than $50 million into the regional economy. Over the course of 3 days, Markham will be at the epicenter of professional car racing. It's just another example of many of how Markham can place itself on a pedestal and proudly say that this city is capable of anything. We know this because of our history of success, and you don't have to look any further than the winner's circle. Markham has earned multiple awards for its achievements. In 2025, Markham received the Government Finance Officers Association Distinguished Budget Presentation Award for the 25th year in a row, with special recognition for strategic goals and strategies. The city also won the Canadian Award for Financial Reporting for the 24th consecutive year. Not to mention that Markham was awarded Municipality of the Year by Festivals and Events Ontario, celebrating excellence in tourism and community festivals, in addition to awards for Canada Day, the Markham Milliken Children's Festival, and Apple Fest. Now, while these awards are a testament to our success, we know we're on the right track, as seen in the most recent Citizen Satisfaction Survey, that 80% of our residents agree that we are delivering quality services. Now, you may have noticed that I've been using some car racing references today, and why not? We have a lot to be revved up about. We live in a city where the future is bright because we race toward it with a sense of mission. We can never lose sight of the road ahead because it always leads towards progress and prosperity. We celebrate together. We face challenges together. Our victories are sweetened because we face them together. Budgets are about day-to-day expectations and our obligation to serve one another. Everyone here today plays a part in Markham being the leading city that it is. Our strong sense of common purpose is what drives us each and every day and ensures that Markham is always facing forward. Thank you very much. And so today's special council meeting is for tabling the budget 2026. And so I will ask Councillor Keys, moved by Councillor, seconded by Councillor Lee, the confirmatory bylaw to confirm the proceedings of today's council meeting. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And a motion to adjourn by Deputy Mayor Chan and seconded by Regional Councillor Jones. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending. And there will be a press conference immediately following the special council meeting in the Great Hall. Thank you very much, everyone.